New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Friday evening, the 7th day of March in the year of 2025. This is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am Reverend Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting this evening from the Attila the Hun radio studio, located in a top secret concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that only one person knows where it's at. Everyone else, especially the Chief Inspirational Officer of the New Thought Media Network, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, especially he does not know where the concrete bunker is located, and we are going to keep it that way. And we've been making modifications here at the concrete bunker because of what's happening in Washington, D.C., but we'll get to that in a few moments. Like usual, we have a great show for you this evening. Please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments either on Facebook or on YouTube. And again, all my chat people out there, I know you're out there. I don't want to put anything in the chat. Okay. Send me an email during the week, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. Hold on here. Hello, I know where the concrete bunker is located. Yes, she does. But she's only allowed limited access. Jeff is saying, I've gotten to where I don't give up where it's at anymore. All right. Enough from the peanut gallery so far. Well, the purpose of our fireside chat is to have a discussion with a lot of laughter and sometimes serious about what is going on in the world. And I know, again, from talking to other individuals and also other show hosts here on our network, seems to be a lot of confusion out there and that people don't know where to go. And let me share with you that there is no safe place out there. It's only within us. So that's where we're talking about here tonight. We're talking about what is going on in the world and hopefully give you some spiritual food, some spiritual direction on how not to only navigate this time, but to, again, to prosper and to grow through this time too. Once again, by popular demand, or because that Robert gets him pretty inexpensively, from the great state of Tennessee, originally from the great state of West Virginia. We have Divine Science Minister, the Reverend Jeff Radcliff, who always has an interesting take on the news. Reverend Jeff, welcome to the Friday evening Fireside Chat.
Thank you, I guess. Couldn't find anybody else, so you settled for me again, right?
Well, people love you.
Well, I haven't heard from any of them. They need to like reach out and say, "Hey, Jeffy, how you doing, man? Saw you on Friday night Fireside Chat. Love it.
Love it." Okay, well, this week
you can get to me via Reverend Michaels at give him your email again.
Pastor Mangus at gmail.com.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why we're doing this again this week. But once again, we are going to be having Reverend Jeff's story of the week. Now, after the last segment a couple of weeks ago, we both were wondering whether or not legal department at the New Thought Media Network would allow us to do it again. Not only because of the content matter, but also because the amount of swearing done by Reverend Radcliff that evening, including dropping one F-bomb. However, when told the subject matter of tonight's story of the week, legal has authorized up to 3, count them, 3 F-bombs to be used, and I quote now, for journalistic emphasis.
You're so full of shit. You, oh man.
What now?
You're limiting me to 3. You don't tie my hands.
I'll tell you what, I think we can get away with whatever that you need, but still,
I'm going to try to make it without. Pray for me, because I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try to go without.
Okay. Now
I'm a divine scientist. We don't give a shit if you cuss. Okay, we're not like CSL who keeps an eagle eye on you guys. It's all God anyway, and
God anyways. That's right.
If God's in a 4-letter word, then so be it. We don't care.
Now we're going to leave you in suspense over what Jeff will speak on, but I think it's a pretty big deal for legal to go ahead and to allow up to 3 F-bombs. They've never done that with me. They've always said you need to abide by Federal Communication Commission rules and regulations.
But I'm special. I get special.
The love fest here. Hi, Diana. I love you, Jeff. Yeah, remember, she pays you an honorarium to come and speak to us at Summit CSL. Me.
What does that tell you about you?
Yeah.
What does that tell you about you? You're not worth investing in, baby.
No, not very much here. Well, once again,
you get the perks of being in the concrete bunker and
all
that cool stuff that the rest of us don't get. So, it's only fair. Now, if I were invited to be part of the concrete bunker,
by the way, what now?
In the Genghis Khan room or wherever the hell you are.
The Genghis Khan radio room.
Yeah, wherever.
Wherever. Hey, listen, happy Alexander Graham Bell Day today.
Ooh, cool. I didn't realize.
Yeah, well, I doing research, and it's just happy Alexander Graham Bell Day today. So blame him for these things.
Yeah. What was oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Lily Tomlin. What was the character? The telephone operator?
Yeah.
Yeah, one ringy dingy.
Two ringy dingies, yes.
Yeah. Is this the party to whom I am speaking, or however she said that? You should have put up her picture alongside of Alexander Graham Bell. I mean, those are the two most famous telephone people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, nothing has happened in the news cycle. I mean,
No, why don't we just wrap this and go home?
Well, you know what I was thinking of doing with the Fireside Chat is, because news has been so slow, that we would turn it into the Reverend Jeffy cooking show.
Ooh.
Or here you go. Here you go. A wine tasting show where you, Reverend Jeff, can turn water into wine.
I can do that. I can do that. Hey, I was told I could do miracles.
Amen. Well, of course I'm being sarcastic.
Of course.
Because the news cycle has been nothing but a fire hose of information. And especially with this thing called the tariffs this week, on again, off again, up again, down again, it's been nuts. So I'm going to say to all of you, if you have not started a practice of meditation yet, please get a hold of me, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. And I will give you some tips on meditation, because that's the way that you're going to make it through this, is with spiritual practice. If you let the news just drive your emotions, that they will drive you nuts.
Yes.
But anyhow, oh my, hold it. Ernestine? Yes, right. Ernestine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Yes, Ernestine. All right. All right. Take a deep breath in, inhale, exhale. Let's get to the news, shall we? Okay.
We need to redecorate the room. Because
you think so?
Yeah. Whenever I envision us doing this, I see the fireplace in between us, but I see us flanking the fireplace in two wingback chairs.
Right.
With a table there with a snifter of brandy along, at your elbow.
I think that would be nice. Well, we'll have to talk to Reverend Robert about that.
Whatever.
We know how far that will get.
Yeah. Well,
oh, here you go. This is your favorite president. Donald Trump threatens new tariffs on Canada, including a 250% tax on dairy. A day after offering Canada a 1-month reprieve on punishing virtually across the board 25% tariffs, President DT has threatened new tariffs as soon as Friday on Canadian lumber and dairy products. It's yet another twist in the serpentine trade policy that seems to shift on an hourly basis. It seems that Trump is like going in and out, weaving in and out on the highway. When is somebody going to take him aside and say, Mr. President, you really should not be driving here? So anyhow, Trump saying this from the Oval Office today. He says, well, Canada's been ripping us off for years on lumber and on dairy products, citing Canada's roughly 250% tariff on U.S. dairy exports to the country, which is true. It's 219, but, who cares about a few percentage? Trump says America would match those tariffs dollar for dollar. And we may do it as early as today, or we may wait till Monday or Tuesday. We're going to charge the same thing. It's not fair. It's never been fair. And they're treating our farmers badly.
He does this like it's a tit for tat kind of thing. He doesn't seem to realize that our economy is so much bigger than some of these other countries. And that's where their tariff amounts factor into this.
Well, now
I don't pretend to understand all the ins and outs of it, but I know that his thinking on this is way flawed.
Absolutely. And a couple of areas here Those are content Canadian cows. Moo. So
No,
for years, what now?
It's moo, eh?
Moo, eh?
Yeah, you hoser. Yeah, it's moo, eh?
So Canada charges exorbitant tariffs on dairy products, and it does. It says a 241% tariff on milk, much to the chagrin of American dairy farmers who have complained for years that the border nation is treating them unfairly. It goes on to say, again, Wisconsin dairy farmers work hard every day to bring world-class products to the market, and they deserve a level playing field with their global competitors. But this is the one thing that I think that's really concerning here, and that is what's going to happen when the tariffs hit the lumber industry. Trump has been criticizing Canadian tariffs on U.S. lumber for several weeks, claiming that America should respond in kind. And he has claimed that America can do without Canadian lumber. I don't think so. An executive order that
than we do.
What now?
They've got a lot more of it than we do. It depends on.
Well, it's saying
American
that.
lumber.
Yeah, it's saying that America has 300 billion trees, but economists and home builders caution that America currently does not have the industrial capacity to meet the demands, and that placing a significant tariff on Canadian lumber imports could further exacerbate the ongoing housing affordability crisis. Lumber is a critical ingredient in the U.S. home building industry, and the United States sources around 30% of its softwood lumber that it uses annually from Canada. Lumber imports from Canada are already subject to countervailing and also anti-dumping duties of 14.5%.
Well, and not only that, but Canadian lumber is just so much. They prepare the logs better. I mean, you've got an entire army of beavers cutting down trees. What do we have? Elon Musk with a freaking chainsaw that he doesn't even know how to use.
That's right.
Yeah. Canada's got it all.
So Reverend Jeff Radcliff, you are saying that Canadian beavers makes the difference in the lumber industry. Are you saying that this evening? You're on the Fireside.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So, but seriously,
flat little tails, they just get slap in the water and go off and grab another tree.
All right.
They work cheap.
Seriously, though.
Yeah.
That there has been several sawmills and also wood processing, manufacturing places here in the United States. I'm thinking of over in Western Pennsylvania and also in West Virginia that have recently shut down because, again, bringing in lumber from other places, dropped the demand for U.S. lumber. So my question is, I don't think we're going to be able to get those sawmills and those wood processing plants up and running. And again, we have right now a lot of building to do, especially in the Los Angeles area. And also, we've had another round of fires in North and South Carolina. So who's going to supply all the lumber for that? And how much is it going to cost? And it just, now is not the time for tariffs, especially with lumber.
No.
Your thoughts, Reverend Jeff?
There's not much to add. I mean, it's so short-sighted on his part to try to put such large tariffs on essential items that we need that we can't get for ourselves. I mean, American beavers don't work as cheap as the Canadians, first of all. But the fact remains, Los Angeles.
Are you getting back into beavers again?
And they want tips. They want like 25% tips just to do the damn job.
You mean American beaver?
You buy a Timmy Horton coffee for a Canadian beaver, they're happy as a clam. Throw in some protein, they're good. Down here, they want the moon, but that's beside the point.
Now, is it because that the American beavers are organized?
That could be it too, because he's very anti-union. But the fact remains,
how did we get into beavers?
I don't. Stream of consciousness, dude. I fell off the damn log and got wet. In the stream of
if you're wondering what the HE double toothpicks, what the hell you've stumbled onto. Well, welcome to the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I'm Reverend Michael, joined this evening by the Reverend Jeff Radcliff, and we're talking about the news. And if that wasn't enough,
there's more.
There's more. Trump threatens new sanctions on Russia after a week of conciliatory statements towards Moscow. Well, I'll sum this up here. I don't need to read it. So he goes ahead and DT makes again a WWE spectacle of President Zelensky last week in the Oval Office. And so, again, cutting off all aid, what do you think that Vladimir Putin would do? Take advantage of the situation? Well, of course. And that's one of the reasons why, again, that there is a new round of bombing in the Ukraine. And again, that our wonderful president is saying now the new threat was notable after weeks of statements towards Russia, and that Russian President Vladimir Putin, including saying that he was going to open to lifting sanctions. Now, Trump is saying he could slap new, tougher sanctions on Russia in his bid to end the war. And again, this is on Truth Social, so it must be true.
Do you really think, though, that he would put some sort of sanctions on Russia? I mean, he's handing Ukraine over on a platter.
Right.
I mean,
and that's...
I think what has happened is somebody at the White House took a phone call.
Right.
And said, tell Donnie to pretend to put sanction on us.
Yes.
My Russian accent is sucky tonight, so don't.
Okay.
I think it's just a ploy to, it's another one of those distractions. If we think that, oh my gosh, he's going to put sanctions on Russia, then we're going to be so focused on that we're not going to notice that Elon's over here doing more stupid shit.
Did you read how much those young computer hackers are getting?
They're making they're
getting close to $200,000 a year. They are getting the highest amount that can be paid to a federal employee. $200,000.
And do you know how many years and how many steps in employment you have to work in the federal government to get there?
Let's get back to Vladimir. It says,
but these sanctions he's not serious about it.
Well, again, Trump wrote on Truth Social, he says, based upon the facts that Russia is already pounding Ukraine on the battlefield right now. Well, of course they are, because you let them. I am strongly considering large-scale banking sanctions and tariffs on Russia until a ceasefire and a final settlement agreement on peace is reached. Yes, you're right. And he said, to Russia and Ukraine, get to the table right now before it's too late. Thank you.
No.
Are you kidding? And again, the reason being is that, Trump keeps saying, well, I want peace. Okay. But peace at what price, though? he's willing to give Ukraine over to Russia. Just say here. Just have it. Just a little gift from the Donald to you.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Well, it's only fair. I mean, he's giving Ukraine to Russia, and he's giving Ukraine the finger. It evens out in his mind.
Again, saying that Russia holds all the cards. That's interesting. And then he cuts off aid. And then he says, well, I want to stop all the bloodshed. Again, my question is, at what cost? We are doing what we have done for years, in which when nations have been attacked, especially by Russia and others, that we have given aid and or troops to go in there and to fight with them. This one, though, those people who say, well, that, Trump isn't in the pocket of the Russians. Well, come on. Their actions speak louder than words. Your comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
That's it. His actions speak louder than words. And what he's doing says something very, very disturbing. It says that he doesn't care what the American people think. And the majority of the United States is fully behind the defense of Ukraine.
Absolutely.
So he's only interested in what he can get for himself. And at the end of all this, if he's not declared himself dictator and fully stopped democratic elections in 4 years, he's still going to end up with a boatload of rubles in his pocket from Vladimir and all the oligarchs over there.
Now,
because we know that's what drives him. It's his money.
Now, before break, I would normally comment about Trump's speech, but it was filled with so many lies. I mean, the fact checkers, they couldn't keep up with all the lies. It was a typical stump speech by Trump. And the good part about it was that there was some good trouble made. And the House of Representatives voted on Thursday to censure Texas Representative Al Green after he disrupted, how dare he, President Trump's address to Congress, and things got messy. The resolution passed 224 to 198, with 10 Democrats siding with the Republicans, including one from Ohio, who is in a kind of a purple area. So I could see why she did that. But the 11-term congressman did not back down. Instead, Green stood his ground on the House floor, leading a group of mostly progressives and members of the Black Caucus in singing the gospel anthem, "We Shall Overcome." As Speaker Mike Johnson read out the censure, the chamber quickly erupted into a chaos, with Republicans and Democrats shouting over one another until Johnson was forced to call a recess. And that's what happened. Again, censure doesn't really mean anything as far as any type of punishment. It just means bad boy, bad girl. We recognize your behavior as not being very good.
But why is it that Al Green gets censored when 2 years ago Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert sat up in the gallery like howler monkeys screaming
right
at President Biden, and we didn't do anything to them. The Democrats did nothing to them. But yet Al Green stands up for what he believes in and gets removed, physically removed from the chambers. That's just beyond the pale.
Well, again, that's, who's ever in power can make the rules. And so that's what's happened. But again, I think that Representative Green is showing a good example of, let's make some good trouble here. You all of you, and this includes myself and Jeff, we don't all have to get kicked out of a meeting. but still that what can we do here to keep the pressure on our representatives to change this? We are going to see, and again, I have discussions, as you well know, Jeff, on Facebook with MAGAs and also conservatives. And Jeff laughs.
You forgot the T at the end of that word.
What?
The M word.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm sorry. I have to put a T on there.
No. I'm not going to listen. Legal is watching anyhow. Okay.
I'll trade that for one of my F-bombs. I'll
Okay.
trade my F-bombs for that one.
So, yeah. So,
yeah, you can't get along with anybody.
Yeah. So what I'm saying here is, and what I'm again suggesting is that we all find our place here. And again, it does not have to be that, again, that you get kicked out of a meeting or get censured by Congress, but the whole idea of that you are powerful. Yes, you are powerful. I'm looking right into the camera. You are powerful. Don't let anyone take your power away. And so that's what the opposition wants to do by the name calling and, saying that we have Trump derangement syndrome and some type of mental disorder. Well, Reverend Jeff is a former social worker, and he is saying that from the new DSM-5, that's the diagnosis manual that tells that the psychiatrists use to tell the insurance company how crazy you are, is that Trump derangement syndrome really is the opposite. It's what'd you call it, Jeff?
Trump devotion syndrome.
Right.
Yeah. Derangement syndrome. It's not in the DSM. It doesn't exist. It's a made up syndrome.
Right.
But yet, when you see the people who fling that about, as an insult to other people, because they have so bought into the Mango Menace ideology, they are the ones who actually fit a lot of the syndromes. They're the ones that raise red flags when it comes to mental health issues.
Absolutely. And again, you could list a lot of a lot of symptoms with a lot of the things that we see online, including the lack of critical thinking skills, which I see with a lot of individuals. You go ahead and you present them with facts. All right. And they say, oh, that's not true. Oh, really? Well, what makes it not true? Well, that's coming from those mainstream media. Well, my facts, again, I think are pretty well vetted before it hits the airwaves. And also, what they don't realize is that Fox News is an entertainment channel. It's not an information channel. The reason for Fox News is to get your money. It's not to provide accurate information. So that's why I'm saying, again, if you want to watch Fox News, that's fine. But again, watch other things. Go to our friends in Canada, CBC. Oh, they got some interesting things to say about us now. Also over in Europe, the BBC.
Reuters.
Reuters. Excellent news sources. And again, then you make a decision based upon what you are reading. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, and check out NPR while we've still got NPR. They're on a fast track to having all their funding taken away.
Do you know what the growing media trend is on YouTube?
I have an idea, but why don't you tell us?
It's progressive media, including the Midas touch.
Midas, yes. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they have overtaken the mighty Joe Rogan in podcast. So what that's telling me here is that, again, the shift is happening here. It's going away from cable. And again, independent producers, independent creators are getting on YouTube and saying, this is just not right. And again, as long as 47 and his minions don't shut down YouTube or Facebook, they may, or
they're not going to shut down Facebook because they've got Zuckerberg in their back pocket.
Well, I would say YouTube right now is the place. And again, do not, again, a lot of those individuals, again, on either platform, do your own research. Check out different news sources. Do not rely upon just one, but get your news from different sources, and then you make your decision.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guess what?
Time for a break.
Time, yeah, real quick. And then we'll be right back. We have to pay some bills here. Your high salary at Summit CSL. All right. We'll have Jeff back here in just a moment. Well, good evening to you. This is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Just wanted to tell you that yours truly is at Summit CSL on Sunday mornings. And so for more information, please go to summitcsl.org. There you will find information about our wonderful online Sunday service at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, or whatever that you would like, and please join us. We do have what I believe to be one of the better services in New Thought. And this Sunday, we'll have as our special guest speaker, we'll have the Reverend Dr. Carol Ann Drick on the second step of spiritual mind treatment, which is unification. Go to summitcsl.org for more information, and we will see you on Sunday. All right. Time for a quick break, and then we will be right back. This is a Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your, and I mean your, New Thought Media Network.
What if the person you think you are is just a fraction of who you truly are? What if years of conditioning and surviving in a challenging world have left you clinging to strategies and beliefs that mask your truest nature? I'm Catherine Duca, psychotherapist and self-esteem coach, and you're listening to Who Do You Think You Are? A show that looks beneath our psychological masks and uncovers our profoundly messy, beautiful, brilliant, tender-hearted essence. Join me as we go in search of the hidden power of our true selves. I'm so glad you're here.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
Are you messing with your lighting again?
I can't get it right. I can't figure out why it's not the way it should be. Yes, I'm messing around. I'm trying to improve it, and I think I'm making it worse.
Well, anyhow, for those of you who are wondering again, what the heck we're doing here. Now, this is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Are you ready for your portion of the program?
Not really, because look at me. I look like crap. And, looking good's half the battle.
Okay, right there.
Okay, that's better. Yeah.
That's better. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Are you ready, ladies and
I'm as
gentlemen?
ready as I'm ever gonna be.
We are again. This is the second week in a row that legal has let us do this. This is Reverend Jeff's story of the week. Boy, did I mess that up.
Oh,
I didn't give it to production this week. They were just slammed with stuff. Okay.
oh,
So
well.
they said,
That's
get with
fine.
us in a couple of weeks. Reverend Jeff, what is your story of the week that legal is letting you use up to 3, and I mean 3 F-bombs? Go ahead.
Well, we've spent the entire hour talking about what's going on in Washington and how it's rippling out into the rest of the world. As a former military member of the military, I am a member of several veterans groups. I was hurt in service. I do have a service-connected disability now because of my service in the military. So, as you can imagine, veterans issues are very important to me. Everything from homelessness to the health care that we are provided. And I see a lot of the folks on the right side of the aisle pay lip service to veterans, and oh, they're heroes, and oh, we need to take care of them. And then they turn around and start firing people from the different government departments, including the Department of Veterans Affairs. What people don't seem to realize is that Elon Musk will say, well, we're only cutting non-essential personnel, and we're cutting people who are on a probationary time period with their employment. Well, here's the thing. There are no unessential personnel in the Veterans Administration, especially when it comes to the health care of veterans, because each person as part of that team is considered to be a vital and essential person. And that's everyone from the doctors and the nurses and the social workers, all the way down to the secretaries and to the janitorial staff, the housekeepers. They are as instrumental in the healthcare providing to veterans as anybody who went to medical or nursing school. There are no unessential people in the veterans mission when it comes to healthcare. And when they talk about, well, we're only getting rid of people who are on their probationary period, they're not taking into consideration, number one, a lot of the people that they're firing are veterans themselves. The Veterans Administration is the highest. No, that's not how I want to say it. They have the highest number of veterans working for them of any federal agency, and that goes for even in the military. Veterans working in the VA really outnumber even active duty personnel. So and so we're talking about people who have been on the job less than 2 years. Well, that could be a new hire who is coming in from outside into the VA, or it could be somebody who has been promoted from one position to another, or decided to go from one part of the healthcare facility to another. And of course, that would start their probation in their new job, but they may have been there working in the VA for 15 years. But because they switched to another position in another part of the hospital, for instance, they're considered probationary and they're getting rid of them. It's complete and utter bullshit what they're doing. And this is not just in the VA. I mean, the VA is particular to me because it's near and dear to my heart, but it's across the board with everything. And I saw an article earlier. Some of the people who are being fired from some of their federal jobs are having to deal with family members on the right who are applauding the fact that their cousin or their niece or their nephew or their son-in-law maybe lost their job because we're cutting the fat out. We're getting rid of all this waste. You know, we're not talking about financial waste, which is what they're focused on. They're acting like the people who are losing their job are as much trash as some of the junk that they're supposedly trying to get rid of. So yeah, they're not, when it comes to them thinking this through, they're not. It's all, and they're jumping over dollars to pick up dimes.
So, Jeff, what do I hear? And again, you can clarify this since you did most of the research on this.
Right.
So I'm hearing up to 80,000 jobs.
I have seen numbers as high as 83 to 85,000. Yeah.
How is that not going to impact the care of our veterans?
Oh, it's definitely going to impact. It's definitely going to impact, because if you don't have somebody, and this, they could be new doctors coming in. The VA hires a lot of doctors from outside to come in. You know, they recruit them to be part of the Veterans Administration. So we've got critical doctors positions that may go unfilled. There's already a lack of personnel in civilian hospitals when it comes to nursing. And once you start losing nurses, you can't regain the level of care that is required in a hospital setting. The hospital that I worked at back in West Virginia, the VA hospital I worked at, they've been kind of cagey with numbers. All they've said was that they've lost a small amount of people. The VA in Nashville, where I get my care now, has lost, and again, they're not giving specifics either, but they say that they have lost a few people. It can't help but affect patient care.
And that's why that both myself and Jeff, we're saying again, call up your representatives. Tell them again that we need to take care of our veterans here. They take care and they took care of us. We need to take care of them. And we take care of them again by providing a wonderful level of care that, again, that they deserve. And also, what's going to happen to all the educational benefits and the other benefits that you can get through the VA?
Yeah.
This is crazy what they're proposing here. Getting rid of 83,000 people. Like, how are you going to replace that service? How are you going to take that level of care and say, okay, or maintain a level of care? You're just not. So that's why I'm saying again, you are, and again, looking into the camera, everyone is powerful here. Call up your representative. Tell them that we will not put up with this. We will remember this at voting time here. You need to represent us by taking care of our veterans. Your comments, Reverend.
Now, and here's where it comes down to all of us. We can't just tell them, we're watching you and we will remember this come election day. If we don't have the wherewithal, if we don't have the backbone to actually follow through on it. And I don't think that we do. As a country, we have got the politicians that we deserve because we continue to put the same people in there. We bitch and moan and complain about the lack of actual real work that they're doing for the people that they're supposed to be representing. But yet when it comes time to vote them out and maybe vote in some new blood, we keep seeing the same people come in over and over and over again. They talk about wanting term limits. We've got term limits, people. It's called the freaking voting booth. Get out there and vote. I mean, seriously.
Right. And that
the power is in our hands and we're not using it.
Absolutely. And that I think that, again, that the shift is starting to hit the fan as far as all these crazy cuts. The wheels are coming off the bus here. Again, the GOP, the higher ups in the GOP have told all the representatives no more town hall meetings. The reason being is because it looks bad. And then what they're saying is that the Democrats are bringing in all these paid protesters to go ahead and to complain at these town halls. That is absolutely, positively just BS.
Bovine excrement. Is what that is.
It's crazy. And the thing is, so again, your politicians are they need to hear an earful about this. Yes, you may have voted for 47. All right. However, that many people are having buyer's remorse now, saying, why in the hell did we go ahead and we put this guy back in? So to know that, again, there's plenty of forgiveness on the other side here. It's okay, again, to change your mind and to, again, to start aligning your actions with your own internal values. What do you value? Do you value love? Do you value individual rights? Do you value what this country is built on? Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
And here's the thing is, let's use the LGBTQ community as an example. A lot of people say, oh, I'm against gay people. I don't believe in that. But then someone in their family will come out as gay or lesbian or transgender. And it hits close to home. And they see where their thinking has been a little wrongheaded, because there's a face to this this unnamed person. Now there's a face that goes with it, somebody that we know, that we love and care for, and we see how this affects them, and it gives them an opportunity to shift their thinking and shift their way of interacting with the gay community, because it's hitting close to home.
Yeah,
but we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that with these federal jobs being thrown out the window. We're seeing people saying, you know what, so you're collateral damage. So sorry, we need to cut the waste. And
right.
And here's the thing. There are, and it goes far beyond just the federal employees who are being affected. We go back to the VA, and they enacted several years ago. They enacted a program to where if you were not able to get into the VA to see a doctor for whatever was going on in a timely manner, you could go out into the community, find that care there. They would help you find that, and the VA would pay for it. And that's how I get a lot of my community. That's how I get a lot of my care now, because I live far enough away from the hospital, and it's just easier to stay close to home and find a community provider. That's going to go away. We've got the Veterans Crisis Line, which is exactly what it says it is. It's there for veterans who are having mental health issues and suicidal ideations. And they said that they're not firing anybody out of there that's not an essential personnel. But yet, if you're not there answering the phone, you're not considered to be an essential person for the VA crisis line. They've already gotten rid of several people in that respect.
So
Veterans who have a service-connected disability, as I do, 30% is the magic number. 30. If you are a veteran who is at least considered by the VA 30% disabled, you get all kinds of benefits, including first shot at any federal jobs.
right.
Yeah, things of that nature. Now they're talking about, and I saw one article on this, and I can't find it now. I think it's probably been removed, and I've not seen any follow-ups on it. But I saw just probably 2 or 3 days ago where they're talking about anybody who's less than a 30% disability rating. They're going to wipe that out and not get, those veterans are not going to get that money.
Yeah, we only have a few more minutes here, Jeff, and just to say that here in Ohio, when you were talking about the LGBTQ community, one of our former senators, Rob Portman, his son came out, and I think that's one of the reasons why he went ahead and he left Congress, was because that he saw that in Ohio, which is pretty red, that he saw the writing on the wall. So he went ahead and, he talked to different clergy people, but again, when it starts hitting home here, especially with our veterans, especially with Medicaid, they're talking about wiping away $800 billion worth of essential care for Medicaid because it's wasteful spending. What are you talking about? And again, this is in the richest country in the world, and that we still have not come up with a decent healthcare program to take care of, again, the vulnerable among us. Your final comments, Reverend Jeff.
It just amazes me that they think that they're cleaning up all this waste. $1 million for this, $1 million for that. Meanwhile, Elon is raking in billions of dollars for his businesses, which, by the way, are not being affected by any of these cuts because he's not touching the agencies that bring in the money to him. But like I said, they're jumping over the dollars to pick up the small change. It's lunacy. It's total lunacy. But we have to remember, no matter what it looks like,
yes,
Spirit, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's all that is. We are all in and of that. And so we cannot lose sight of that. It's real easy. Trust me, I know it's real easy to lose sight of it, but but God is all there is. And we need to remember that no matter what it looks like, there is good there. And
yes,
it may look like the darkness right now, but just like nighttime, the sun eventually comes up, the light becomes apparent again, and then it becomes daybreak. We cannot say that.
And I want to just encourage everyone out there again, please do not, if you are having all kinds of thoughts about this, or this is just really weighing you down, please, please, please call the local mental health line, call your community, talk to the practitioners, talk to the ministers there. Again, we're hearing it anyhow. All right. So join the club. But again, us together, we are powerful. And so that's why I'm saying again to not only to pray, but to treat and move our feet also. Yeah. So again, that you are powerful here. Let your representatives know that that our veterans are precious. Let them know that, and that please, again, tell them no cuts. All right, Jeff, I guess, man, we go through an hour really quick, don't we?
Yeah. And did you notice I held my 3 F-bombs in reserve?
Now, does that mean that I was going to say something? Now, does that mean that those F-bombs carry over into the next week?
I don't know. We're going to have to talk to the boss about that.
I'll have to see with legal. Yeah. Well, again, you were talking about the veterans, so that's one of the reasons why they're going to let you
Well, I can give you three. I can give you three of them real quick if you want.
No. Please.
All right. Well, thank you for allowing me to be here again.
Jeff, we always love having you again. Thank you so very much. We appreciate and love you, and thank you for your service to our country. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And we got to go. Boy, an hour goes by quick. And again, we're here to help and to serve you. If you are experiencing a lot of anxiety about that, about what's going on in the world, get with one of us. prayer@ntmedia.org is a wonderful resource. Another resource that you can use, again, is your own spiritual community in your area. People are there, again, to be with you. This is not the time to cower. This is the time to come forth in your own power, that you've had the power all along. All right. It's just that you haven't recognized it. So now is the time. Well, on behalf of all of us here at the New Thought Media Network, I am Reverend Michael Mangus. I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night, and you have a great week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.